What's up? Johnny from Assassinator here to do another bullshit tier video, maybe to piss off like 5 viewers or whoever the fuck's watching this. And I'm just gonna give my opinion on how I feel about these Megadeth albums. Starting off with the first album, Killing What's My Business. I don't care for the first song. I do think there's some good riffs in Killing Is My Business. Gold Beneath the Skin can be a fun listen. These Boots was fucking stupid, and I hated how they censored it in the 2002 version. Rattlehead's overrated. Chosen Ones I can still enjoy listening to. I don't care for Looking Down the Cross. And I think the mechanic sucks. So, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. There are a couple good moments, but nothing that makes me want to go back to it. So, yeah, I'm going to put it down there. And then we go into the second album, the one that the band themselves will say would be a vast improvement. Um, Wake Up Dead has got some interesting riffs on there, but I can't help but like roll my eyes back a little bit whenever I do hear that intro riff. The same with Peace Sells. Conjuring has got some great riffs. That one and Bad Omen are probably my go-to songs if I'm ever going to go back to this one. Devil's Island is overrated. Uh, and my last words then isn't that good. I Ain't Superstitious is a stupid cover. Good Morning Black Friday is a good song though. So Conjuring, Good Morning, and Bad Omen are about the songs that do it for me. So yeah, I'd say I'd say still better than Killing Is My Business though. Still say it's a better crafted album altogether. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yep. And we go into So Far So Good, So What? Let's see, Into the Lungs of Hell. Yeah, it's a good way to start off the album. Set the World Afire. It's fine. Anarchy in the UK. I don't care much for the cover. I don't hate it, but I don't care for it either. Mary Jane's a well crafted song. 502 is fun. In My Darkest Hour is good. Liar, I can definitely have fun with. Hook and Mouth, I used to love, but now I don't. Um, so, and I do love the sound of this album. It may be reverberated as fuck, but I think there's a charm to it that makes it more interesting to listen to than I think the previous two, and definitely the later ones to come. And we go into the greatest metal album of all time. Yeah, I'm sick of hearing Holy Wars. I can do without hearing 18 King or 18 again. I know they got some merits, they got some great riffs in there, but I'm sick of hearing them. I think Poison Was the Cure is pretty overrated. I definitely do think Take No Prisoners is also overrated. I feel like it's just mashing as many notes as you can into a song. I think Five Magics started off pretty cool. Lucretia is probably the best song on this album for sure. Tornado of Souls I can still kind of get behind. Dawn Patrol is just a groovy bass riff and intermission track. I took influence with that with my second album, throwing a bass and drum track on there. Uh, Rest in Peace Polaris. I hate that song. I hate Dave's vocals on it. Um, so where would I rank it for myself? Probably somewhere around here, maybe even down there, because there are songs I'm just sick of hearing on it and think are overrated. But yeah, I think Lucretia is what carries the whole weight of the album for me. Do I piss people off or do I make them mildly uncomfortable? Is kind of my choice here. Because I just don't feel like it's that great of an album. Maybe for first time listen for somebody, but yeah, I don't think that highly about it. I do think there's a couple of these bonus tracks down here are actually more worth looking into. Like, yeah, Breakpoint is a great song, and I feel like Go to Hell should also be included as a bonus track because that's a great song too. I love that song. But yeah, I could probably go the rest of my life without hearing this album. Sorry to say, but I mean, I'm giving it some merit. Some merit. It's not very much, but I really am sick of the album. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, going into Countdown to Extinction. This is their first commercial release. As if I didn't think that way about Rust in Peace. Skin in My Teeth. Man, it's got some cool ideas in there, especially that like string bend at the end of the chorus. But I'm tired of hearing that song at the same time. Symphony of Destruction. That song, it deserves a lot of its merit that it gets, but I am also sick of hearing it so frequently, and it being like the only song you ever hear anybody play on any radio station or whatever. Architecture of Aggression is super underrated, super creative song. Foreclosure of a Dream, yeah, I can get behind that one. Sweating Bullets is cliche as shit. It's a meme. The song is a meme. Uh, yeah, I love how on this reissue he throws in that intro. Those 2004 reissues are trash, by the way. If you can find a way to listen to the original qualities or just generally stay away from that 2004 reissue, he changes the drums on all those. They sound like bullshit. I don't know what the fuck Dave was thinking on that. This Was My Life had some cool riffs on there. And Countdown to Extinction was a great song. High Speed Dirt I could still have fun with. Psychotron's a pretty underrated one. Captive Honor's a well composed one. Ashes in Your Mouth is fine. Oh, there's Go to Hell. But that's a bonus track anyway. Uh, yeah, I'm going to put it about up there. Because, yeah, there are a couple songs that I'm sick of hearing. But I do think there were some really good ideas on here that, for me, remain timeless. And then we go into Euthanasia. Some people seem to think that this is a declining time for them, but I couldn't disagree more. I feel like this is peak Megadeth right here. Dave Mustaine's vocals are at top performance. They are better than they have ever been. There's and the sound of it. I love the sound. The guitar sound crunchier than ever. I love the reverberation. Once again, the original drums much better than the 2004 one. Uh, yeah, Reckoning Days of good, great song. Train of Consequences is an amazing song. And so is Addicted to Chaos. To Limone may be a little bit of a slow song for me, but I can still enjoy that one. In fact, even get some emotion out of that one. I love Elysian Fields. I especially love that electronic sample that's used at the beginning of it. Killing Road's a great song. Blood of Heroes is also a great song. Family Tree, I think, is pretty underrated. Euthanasia is a really doomy song, but yeah, there's enough pace keeping it driving forward. I thought I Knew It All, maybe one of the weakest songs on here. Black Curtains, I don't know why people hate that song because I love it. Victory sucks. It's stupid. Okay, I'm not gonna say it sucks. There is some guilty pleasure out of that one. Um, so yeah, I think this is a very strong listen front to back. Even despite those weaker couple of weaker moments there, I can still get behind I Thought I Knew It All. And even what I had to say about Victory, I can still kind of enjoy it. It's top. It's top of the line for me. I think if I'm going to listen to a Megadeth album, this is going to be it. Let's see, and then we got Cryptic Writings. And this one I kind of have, I want to say, an apologist mindset to, because do, I do really want to like this one. Although I'm going to say trust, I don't know, I'm fine with it for a little bit, I guess. I mean, it kind of takes a minute to get into, and I think that intermission part is also kind of cheesy. Almost Honest, I can enjoy. Use the Man, I think, is a cool song. It's very cryptic. No pun intended. Literally, I did not mean to intend that pun on that one. Um, Mastermind, I think, is a cool song. Disintegrators is fun. Same way as Have Cool Will Travel is. I'll Get Even. Got a nice groove to it. Sin is probably the weakest song on here. I still kind of enjoy it though. Secret Place and She Wolf don't really do much for me. Same with Fight for Freedom. Vortex, I think, is kind of underrated. Yeah, this is definitely one of their more interesting albums, and I think I might put it somewhere around here. What do I want to go with? Yeah, if I'm ever gonna listen to a Megadeth album front to back, despite how much I want to like it for whatever reason, I think this here would be a fair placement. So yeah, I'd still rather listen to this than Rust in Peace or even Peace Cells. Would I rather listen to it than So Far So Good So What? Probably not. So yeah, I think that's a fair placement for it. Okay, going into Risk. You would think I'd have some kind of unique hot take on this one, but I really don't. It's bad. Insomnia is bad. Prince of Darkness is bad. Yeah, nearly the first full half of this album is bad, and Breadline kind of picks it up a little bit, along with Doctor is Calling, but they're still not that very good of songs, and it it does feel like the band's at an identity crisis at this point. I'll Be There is not good. Wanderlust and Ecstasy are just weird. Seven's a filler, I think. And I don't think that these ending tracks are very unique either. So yeah, maybe a couple like creative ideas in there, sure, but I don't like it. Uh, this would be this would not be a recommended album at all. Crush 'Em is easily one of their worst songs ever made. I don't even enjoy it, ironically, either. And this is considered their redemption album. World Needs a Hero. I thought Disconnect was a pretty underrated song. A good way to kick it off. Although maybe not the most energetic way to kick it off, I guess. But that one, World Needs a Hero, is a really interesting composition. Motorcycle's fine. A Thousand Times Goodbye is bad. Burning Bridges is good. I think that one is definitely an underrated one. Promises is bad. Recipe for Hate Warhorse is also interesting. Yeah, there are some interesting ideas on this album, but there's also some that I definitely think are fat that need to be trimmed. Say worst ones are Thousand Times, Promises, When I could definitely do without too. Uh, and some people hold that in good regard, in high regard. Uh, Return to Hangar is fine. Just basically another version of Hangar 18. During the Fugitive Mind, I can still enjoy that song too. So, yeah, I think it's a fair listen. I think I could mostly enjoy listening to this album. If somebody put it on, I wouldn't be mad. But I would hope that a couple tracks do get skipped along the way, so. Okay, and then we're going into The System Has Failed. You know, I wanted to praise the shit out of Blackmail the Universe. Wanted to call that my favorite Megadeth song of all time. You know, playing it one day, I thought that the like announcing that was going on at the beginning was a little obnoxious. But I mean, it is pretty well composed. It is still a well composed song. I do feel like the band is starting to kind of harsh term sound washed up. I feel like they're running out of steam. This really probably should have been Megadeth's last album. I mean, it originally was intended to be, especially with all the falling out that he had with David Ellefson at that point and the surgery he had to go through. Die Dead Enough. It's fine. Kick the Chair is fine. I think the Scorpion was an interesting composition, but I don't know how I feel about it at the same time. Tears in a Vial. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Same with back in the day. Something that I'm not. I don't think of My Cement is all that good. I think Shadow Death is pointless, and I think My Kingdom has the same. I remember getting annoyed that it had the same like note being played for like the first nearly minute of the whole song, and I thought that was ridiculous. So, do I want to say it's one of the last creative ones? Probably. I still wouldn't be offended if it got played, but I also don't. But I also feel like there's something better I could be listening to at that point. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of a fair place to put it because I wanted to praise this album, but I've got to be honest with myself. I don't really hold that in high regard anymore, especially. So, yeah. I'm gonna get into United Abominations, and this was one of the first Megadeth CDs I ever bought with my money whenever I was a kid. Sleepwalker, I always really liked that song. It's probably the most entertaining song, and that's setting the bar pretty low. Yeah, Washington is next. Whatever. United Abomination. I liked some of the riffs that were on that one. Yeah, say some of the clean stuff that they do on this album is interesting, but yeah, Gears of War, whatever. Bluster of the Dead is easily got to be one of the most forgettable songs on here. That Tulamone rendition is awful. That one definitely brings it down. I don't like it. America Stan, fine. There's some good guitar work on this album. I mean, the same could be said about any Megadeth album, I guess, but yeah, how do I feel about going back to this one? Yeah, about the same as I do with The System Has Failed. I don't know. I really don't have a particular order. It's just a matter of where they land overall with whole numbers. So yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's one of the lesser interesting Megadeth albums, but one of the more interesting, uninteresting ones. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about this one. This is probably the most this this is probably going to be as perplexed as I get from here on out because this is it's going to be downhill from here. And we get into Endgame, and I remember the hype for this album being so highly anticipated. I wanted it the day that it came out. I was so excited about it. I wanted myself to like it. I ended up not liking it that much, and I feel like it was very play by numbers. I felt like, but I mean, it was Megadeth trying to be Megadeth, but it didn't feel like anything new or interesting to me. Um, yeah, I don't care for these first four. But I don't know if I were to go back to any songs, it probably would be either "Bite the Hand." I probably wouldn't even try that one. "The Right to Go Insane" is probably the most interesting song to me. Head Crusher, I've heard compared to the theme song for Crash Bandicoot 3, and I can never not think about that. Hardest Part of Letting Go is easily the weakest song on this album. That was stupid. Yeah, it's pretty weak for me. I would never go back to it. Yeah, For me, yeah, I I don't want to call it bad because it's not technically bad, but at the same time, I just don't want to hear anything on there. And at this point, also, Dave's vocals are really annoying me at this point. So yeah, I'm not interested in it. Good for you if you are, but I have no desire to listen to this. Like if somebody were to tell me I'm gonna put on Endgame by Megadeth, I'm like, fuck. Yeah, that's how I feel. Shit, I remember whenever 13 came out, there there was obviously not much that was gonna go into this if you would have known whatever was going on at the time. I didn't realize that Dave Mustaine had assistance in most of these lyrics. He really did not give a shit at this point in time. He was just trying to close Roadrunner, trying to finish his contract with Roadrunner. I'm pretty sure was the biggest motivation behind this one. So, taking B-sides like New World Order and Millennium the Blind, and a couple songs like Sudden Death and Never Dead were used in video games. These these few songs, yeah, most of these songs are just so dull. Yeah, it's not a good album. It's really not. It's kind of a waste of time to listen to. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not that good. It's not horrible, but it's definitely just run, not even run of the mill. It's just not even that good. Yeah, it could have been a good farewell album altogether. No, it wouldn't have even been good for that. I wish they would have just said goodbye at this point. Yeah, this next album definitely should have was is a testament to how they should have said goodbye because this album is absolute trash. It's garbage. Fucking what the fuck is Super Collider? The track and he literally says "Burn, baby, burn" in that song, and it even throws an exclamation mark. Built for war. The the fact that he starts off the song saying that just pisses me off, and it doesn't even sound angry or anything either. It just sounds like a tired old man just trying to get through it, trying to get through the recording, putting this on the shelves, giving an excuse to go on tour. Don't like it. Uh, yeah, none of these songs are good. None of them are interesting. Absolute bottom of the barrel trash. And you thought Risk was bad. At least Risk had a couple interesting moments. This has nothing interesting. And then we get to another mildly uninteresting but slightly better. Now, I won't say slightly. It is better, but I'd still not very interested in it. I remember a friend convincing me about how Dystopia was a good song. I thought that the ending of it was kind of interesting. I thought Bullet to the Brain was probably the most interesting song altogether, but I mean, tracks like Post American World are just boring and feel like The Threat is Real and Fatal Illusion are just so run by numbers, paint by numbers. Yeah, this, yeah, I can't recommend it. I don't care for it. It's bland. And what is more bland than what's worse? What's worse than bland is forgettable. I cannot remember anything about this album, and Dave's vocals are shot at this point. I know he had three throat cancer. That sucks. But yeah, this really did nothing for me. This album did nothing for me. What is this fucking Ice T's inclusion on there? It was stupid when 6 Feet Under did it too. Of course, anything that 6 feet under is typically stupid. So yeah, God, I didn't realize how many bad albums or albums I don't like. Yeah, and I know I'm putting Rust in Peace lower than it deserves to be, but I really can't stand listening to that album anymore. I can't stand the "Ooh, it's the greatest album ever" shit that gets associated with it. Killing My Business. Yeah, it's their first album. It was these two I wanted to give some credit to, but I just can't really say too much about them. I felt like these out. I felt like these few albums at least had some much more interesting moments, and that I can listen all the way through and not get too bored. These ones are whenever it gets interesting, and Euthanasia I think is definitely the best one out of all of them. So yeah, that's practically like a fucking staircase here. Yeah, that's my feelings on Megadeth. That's where I stand. That's what I'd want to hear if I ever listen to Megadeth, and what I don't want to hear. Uh, Good luck to you, Dave. I've fallen off the ship though.